Tuesday edition, part 2 of our Tuesday betting preview on Pucks Across Borders. Total Apex Sports and Sports Addict Live, brought to you by the one, the only First Round Collectibles. What's your favorite sport? Hockey, football, basketball, baseball, wrestling, maybe even boxing. Whatever it is, I promise you, First Round Collectibles has a sports card for your favorite sport. And right now with our promo code Sports Addict, get 10% off whatever sport card you want in the entire First Round Collectibles store. They have an ongoing sale up to 50% off dozens and dozens of sports card. And with our promo code Sports Addict, not only do you get 10% off of regular priced items, but sales items as well. Do the math. 20 becomes 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60. You get the picture. Go to firstroundcollectibles.com today. Use promo code SportsAddict for 10% off regular priced and sales priced items. That's the number 1 STRoundcollectibles.com. First Round Collectibles, sports cards for sports fans.
Yeah. Let's go. Gotta go hard. I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Yeah. Oh yeah, the beast.
And welcome to this Tuesday edition of Pucks Across Borders, part 2 of our Tuesday betting preview on Total Apex Sports, Sports Addict Live, brought to you by the one, the only First Round Collectibles. Use promo code Sports Addict for 10% off whatever card you want in the entire First Round Collectibles store. Andre, good to see you, bro. We had quite the show yesterday. Went over the Toronto Maple Leafs Lightning game, went through half of today's action, and we're going to wrap it up. 9 games to talk through to finish off the Tuesday slate. If you missed yesterday's show, fast forward like half an hour, and you will get part 1 of the Tuesday betting preview, or just watch the whole thing again, and you'll watch how we were dead on. Actually, not dead on, because I did say that that's a game that the Leafs lose, and they did the opposite of lose, and not just because they won, but they dominated that game start to finish, and it was delightful. But we'll get into all of it. First, as always, I am Mark Sauter, and with me, the best, Andre. How you feeling on a Tuesday morning, bro?
Feeling pretty good. I have to apologize to the people because instead of taking the over, like I fully intended at first last night as my best bet, I took Nikita Kucherov over 1.5 points, and he only got 1. So I killed our best bet parlay. All
right.
My bad. But it's cool because we're going to hit a 16-leg parlay today, and that's what matters.
Yeah, make up for it. Make your money back. It's funny. We haven't really done this so far this year, not for any real reason. Probably just I forget all the time. But last year we did the bad beats segment, and we haven't really done that so far this year. But I'll tell you, number 1, that's a bad beat. Number 2, I did a parlay, and it's just me being greedy. Honestly, I could have done without it, but I did a parlay last night. Leafs money line, Nylander to score, Stolarz to make 24 plus saves, and Nick Robertson to get a goal. He was like +4 something or +5 something, and he is the only Leaf to not have a point. And he's playing really, really well. One of these nights, he's going to break out, and I figured, why not tonight? And he missed in the third period. It was like a $20 bet. The payout was like $700 or something. It would have been beautiful. He whiffed 2-on-1, I believe, or a rebound or something like that. And he got the puck wide open net, and it bounced over his stick in the third period. And I was just like, oh my goodness. He was buzzing. He had a great game, just couldn't cash in. So bad beats all around. So yeah, I mean, before we get into it, our takeaways from last night, of course, only one game last night. Toronto Maple Leafs beating the Tampa Bay Lightning 5-2. Nylander getting 2 goals, 3 points. First goal coming 4 minutes into the first period. Nick Paul ties it up towards the end of the period, and then the Leafs go off for 4 goals in the second period, and finishing the game 5-2. It's funny, man, because if you've watched the show all of last year and then this year, you know that I'm very hesitant to give the Leafs any praise. I just get my heart broken every single year. But I'll tell you something. That game last night, and this is not a fan take. You go on Leafs Twitter, all the reporters, all the beat writers, everybody is saying this. That was maybe the best game I have seen the Leafs play in years. And I don't know, I want to say in the entire Matthews, Nylander, Marner, regime. But that's 8 years long, and who can really remember that far back? I'll just say from front to back, that was a super impressive game, man. I thought the Leafs dominated from start to finish. I thought Stolarz, anytime the Lightning came back with any sort of pushback, Stolarz played terrific. 32 saves on 34 shots. I thought he played so well. Just the way that this team is playing, man, I'm telling you, and people are going to get sick of me saying it, but the Craig Berube effect is in full swing, man. You watch this Leaf team compared to the years past, just the way that they're playing, the way the toughness that they're playing with, fighting for pucks, not giving up on plays. The Leafs love to give up on plays. They love it, and they can't get enough of it. And this year, it's just not that way. And I just thought they played great start to finish last night. The additions to this team, Chris Tanev, I swear to God, this guy blocks 12 shots a game. And he's 34 years old, and it's October. And he's blocking 12 shots a game every single night. OEL has looked phenomenal back there. He's just this super steady presence. He's looked great. Lots of concern. He was awful in Vancouver. Really good last year on the third pair. And he's getting a bunch of minutes right now for Toronto. He's playing really well. And, of course, Anthony Stolarz, man. This guy, Joseph Woll was kind of deemed the starter, probably tandem, but was named the opening night starter, got hurt before the season even started. And as of right now, you cannot watch these games and take this starting job away from Stolarz. The big knock on him was that he's never started more than 27 games in a season. And you knew, regardless, even if Joseph Woll was completely healthy, you knew that both of these goalies were going to start at least 35 games each. But this guy is playing so well, man. I've got to pull this up. Where is it? I had it. He's played 5 games, 5 of the 6 games he's played. 3-2 record, 183 goals against, 938 save percentage. It's just playing out of his mind, man. And I don't care who his backup is. And I don't care that you're paying Joseph Woll $3.5 million. You are starting Stolarz. That's all there is to it. Nylander, like I said, 3 points. Matthews kept his goal streak going after not scoring in the first 3 games. He scored last night to make it 3 games straight that he scored. Marner had a couple points. This team just looks good, man, and I am terrified about it. I really am, but they look phenomenal. Great win last night. we're gonna see them again tonight, facing Columbus. We'll see what happens, but I don't know, man. I'm all the way bought into this new Berube-led Maple Leafs team, bro, and it's absolutely terrifying.
Hey, hope is a dangerous thing to have. You got a lot of it.
Yeah, I do. I do. It is terrifying. But I mean, let's just throw this out there from the Tampa Bay side. Vasilevsky, 14 shots on goal, pulled halfway through the second period, allowing 4 goals on 14 shots. One of those nights for Tampa Bay, I didn't think they looked overly good. But in the second period, it was either late in the second period or early in the third. I think it was the second period. Tampa Bay had a 5-on-3, and the Leafs killed it off. The Lightning were 1 for 6 on the power play last night. Yeah, just looking good, bro. It's absolutely terrifying. Do you have anything to add from the game last night before we head on into the remaining 9 games on the slate tonight?
Vasi getting pulled might earn them a win tonight. You know, I know we picked that game yesterday, but he's supposed to start. I'm hearing that Jake Allen's going to start for Jersey. I kind of like that for Tampa Bay.
Really?
Out there, might switch to that Tampa money line.
Jake Allen starting tonight. I wonder why. That's interesting.
It's the rumor I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's interesting. I will say, just really quickly, because this is a gambling show and I can't help myself. Anthony Stolarz, if this guy stays healthy and plays 45 plus games, I mean, Linus Allmark, he won the Vezina. He only played like 41, 42 games the year he won the Vezina. Anthony Stolarz is plus 5,500 right now to win the Vezina. And you're getting everybody else, like Hellebuck's plus 460, Shesterkin's plus 500, Swayman's plus 650, Ottinger 750, Markstrom 1,000, Vasilevsky plus 1,100. I'm telling you, man, might be a good time of the year to sprinkle $10 on some Anthony Stolarz to win the Vezina. We'll see what happens as the season progresses. Before I just completely lose my mind with my Maple Leafs hype, let's move on. We did go through all of the games, or the first 8 games on the slate, or 7 games, whatever. We went through a bunch of games yesterday. Just a reminder of what those games are. Washington and Philly start the Frozen Frenzy off at 6:00. Minnesota is in Florida at 6:30. Tampa Bay is in New Jersey at 6:45. And just, you talked about it. Tampa Bay is plus 122. Devils still minus 146. So if you like it, get on it now. Dallas is in Buffalo at 7:00. Rangers in Montreal at 7:15. The Leafs are in Columbus at 7:30. Red Wings in New York on the island at 7:45. And that brings us to tonight. 9 games left to get through. Sneaky good game to start it off at 8:00. Winnipeg Jets, the perfect 5-0 Winnipeg Jets, are in St. Louis to take on the 4-2. 4-2? I think 4-2. St. Louis Blues. Your St. Louis Blues. You're all the way in on this Blues team now. I love to see it. Minus 156 are the Winnipeg Jets in St. Louis. The Blues plus 130 at home. Minus 1.5 for the Jets is plus 168. Plus 1.5 for the Blues, minus 205. The over is 5.5 at minus 120, and the under is minus 102. Andre, I've been talking for 15 straight minutes, so please take over and tell me, what do you see in this Winnipeg-St. Louis matchup tonight?
Yeah, I'm kind of at a crossroads here. On one hand, I think the Blues suck. On the other hand, I think the Jets will fire too much, and they're overdue for a loss. So quite the conundrum here. I feel pretty bold. I'm taking this game to go to OT. 60-minute draw plus 300. These teams play 1-goal games. They play down to the wire. I guess Winnipeg, their last 2 has it, but one was against the Sharks. The other one, they were trailing 3-0. They're not overcoming a 3-goal game in this one. I think the Blues at the very worst lose by 1 goal. Their plus 1.5 is minus 205. Absolutely not worth taking that at all. So I'm just gonna roll the dice on a draw here. I think I'm leaning heavily, or not heavily, but I think I'm leaning towards a Blues win. Um, if this game were to go to OT, if this game were to be tight, because that's just what they've been doing. But who knows, man? Who knows? This is one of those games where I could see going either way. See being a coin flip, especially since it's in St. Louis, not Winnipeg. Under 6, minus 125 on DK right now. I'd take that over the over. 3-2, 2-1, whatever. It's probably the way this one finishes. Just wouldn't be surprised if it went to OT or the Blues squeaked out another 1-goal win. That's what they seem to do.
Yeah, we're starting off on opposite sides of the street, if you will, because I am taking the Jets at minus 1.5 here, plus 168. I'm all the way bought in on this Jets hype. I just think I do like that under though, which for me, I mean, obviously you can do like alternate totals. Over 5.5 is minus 120. I see this being a 4-2 game, something like that. I just, for me, watching both of these teams, and we talked about this yesterday, the big thing for the Jets, and maybe the most surprising, is that they're scoring a bunch of goals. Like, they're scoring a lot. And I just don't know, with Hellebuck in net, if St. Louis can keep up with it. It's just really like that, like, simple for me. Broberg, coming over from Edmonton in the offer sheets over the summer. He's been a really good addition on the blue line for St. Louis. I think that their defensive play has been pretty good to start the year. And no slight against Binnington. I just think, Hellebuck's a different animal. St. Louis, they've been scoring more than I expected them to, but I just think Winnipeg's been playing so well. Minus 1.5. And I like St. Louis. I just don't know if they can keep up with the way that the Jets have been scoring. So I'm going to take Winnipeg at minus 1.5 plus 168. Also, got to keep this going. Mark Scheifele, excellent start to the season for him. He's plus 170. Jordan Kyrou has had a really sneaky good start to the season for St. Louis. He's plus 220. And where is it here? Vladislav Namestnikov. I'm butchering names left, right, and center this season. I don't know why. Something's freaking glitching in my brain, but he is plus 470 to score. He got a couple the other night. He's had a really strong start to his season. So sneaky long shot plus 470 for Vladislav. I'll just call him by his first name. I don't want to do too much disrespect on his name. All right, moving on to Chicago. The Vancouver Canucks in Chicago. Vancouver is minus 176 now. Odds going down since I typed this in. Chicago is plus 146, minus 1.5 for the Canucks, plus 138, plus 1.5 for the Blackhawks, minus 166. The over is 5.5 at minus 130, and the under is plus 106. Andre, what do you see Vancouver heading to Chicago?
Vancouver, 2 straight wins. They're kind of finding a groove here on the road. 3 goals in both of them. So, after a pair of duds in their second and third games, 2 goals against Philly, 1 goal in Tampa. Rebounding kind of nicely, doing what we expected them to do, and picking up points, more importantly. They're a better team, you would assume, if both teams are playing at their best. I wouldn't say the Blackhawks are playing at their best right now. Just kind of outside of the Sharks game, sandwiched between that, they only scored 1 goal in Calgary, 2 goals against Buffalo. Their first 2 games, they only combined for 3 goals. So it's really the Edmonton win and the San Jose win, 2 teams that are not playing well right now, kind of propping up the Blackhawks. For that reason, I do like the Canucks here. I'm more inclined to take the puck line just because when Chicago's been losing, it's been by multiple goals for the most part. I'm also more inclined to take the under because the Blackhawks, when they're losing, are not scoring. But the Canucks seem to have a rhythm offensively again. Their defense, their goaltending has been solid in these 2 wins. I think they keep that going before they return home. So I'm taking the Canucks in a low scoring game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. -1.5 Vancouver, plus 138. I'm just looking to see who is in net tonight for the Canucks. Lankinen is in net. He's had a terrific start to the season, man. Really good start for the rookie goaltender. 2-0-1, 1.28 goals against, 953 save percentage. He's looked really, really good. Shelovs has not. So until further notice, I think this guy is the starter. At least till he kind of stubs his toe here. I really like Vancouver to win this game as well, -1.5. The total I'm kind of staying away from just because as good of a start as he has had, he's still a young goaltender. He's been so good that maybe like an off night is inevitable. And as inconsistent as the Chicago offense can be, they still have much better players than they did last year. So I'm a little bit hesitant to take the over, but I will take Vancouver at -1.5. As far as some props for this game, I'm right back on it to where we were last year. 3+ shots for Quinn Hughes is -138. I know it's a little bit juicy, but I do like him to get 3+ shots. And where are we here? You got to get back to it, bro. Power play shots or power play points, rather. Quinn Hughes. All right, I'm all over the place here, but Quinn Hughes to have 2+ points is +255, which I think is terrific value for him to have 2+ points. If you think that Vancouver is going to get that -1.5, maybe they get 4 goals. I like Quinn Hughes to have 2+ points. And I'm not seeing the power play points on here, but I will take that when it is available to me. All right, I'm really interested to see what you think about this next game. Colorado is in Seattle, -122 for the Avalanche. The Kraken +102 at home. One of these teams has been playing better than the other team, and the team that's been playing better than the other team is not the Avalanche. And I'm really curious to see what you think about this game. -1.5. Well, starting with, -122 Avalanche on the money line, +102 for the Kraken, -1.5 for the Avalanche, +202. +1.5 for the Kraken is -250. The over is 6.5 at -105, and the under is -115. Andre, what do you think about this game, man? Colorado, 3 wins in a row or 2 wins in a row?
Just two.
Okay, 2. Let's not get crazy. Yeah, 2. And Seattle, they're on a roll, man. I think they've won 4 in a row. No?
Oh, they're on a streak. I think it's 3.
Yeah.
I think the Stars' loss is breaking up to 4.
Gotcha. So yeah, man, Seattle's played great to start the year. You were high on the Kraken coming into the season. Me, not so much. And you were high on the Avalanche as well. What do you think about this game tonight?
I'm just gonna do the cop-out play when there's an Avalanche game and take the over. I mean, they scored 4 goals in consecutive games. They scored 4 goals both times they hit the road, and they scored at least 3 in every game but 1. We obviously know the goaltending and defensive issues. That's why they only have 2 wins to this point. I mean, they showed out against the Sharks, but yeah, it's the Sharks. So, I mean, Seattle, they're doing a little bit of everything. I mean, the offense hasn't been crazy in every game, but when they've played well, they've played well. I mean, in 3 of their wins, they had at least 5 goals. So that's encouraging. I think they're a good enough team. It seems like the good teams are going to score plenty against the Avs right now. I expect that to continue. So just give me the over. Just keep it simple, stupid. I would probably lean Kraken. They're home. They're playing better. They're definitely more reliable defensively and in net, but Colorado has so much firepower, and I think they have to get this ball rolling eventually where there's a chance they could pull this one off, win their third straight, and Seattle's streak of 3 straight. Just give me the over.
It's a weird thing when, Joey Decord was just recently extended $5.5 million, I believe, and he's still technically the backup goaltender. Philip Grubauer is projected to start tonight. I don't see any odds for goaltenders, and Daily Faceoff has Grubauer as the unconfirmed starter. I would have a lot more faith in this if Decord was playing. I do like Seattle to win this game tonight. I just think, Colorado, like you said, man, they have a couple wins. One of them against San Jose. Don't care about that game at all. They look good, but still, like you said, it's the Sharks, and I don't care. I've watched quite a bit of the Avalanche so far, and they just look a tad dysfunctional. They just look like out of sorts. They're on the road. Seattle's just been playing really strong hockey. Even in the games that they've lost, Seattle's just played better. And the one game that they lost was the first game of the year against the Blues, and they were winning that game handedly. They controlled the first 2 periods, and they just kind of fell asleep in the third period to lose that game. I really like the Kraken to win tonight. It's for me, it's just simple. Who's playing better right now? And it's the Kraken, and they're at home. So I will take Seattle. Not going to get crazy with the props for this game. I like the Kraken at plus 104. And as far as the total goes, I think I'm with you on the over. I don't really know what I'm getting from either of these goaltenders. Noonan is projected to start. Again, nothing's confirmed. And Grubauer in net for Seattle. I think I like that over as well. But I don't really know what I'm getting from either of these two goaltenders. So give me Seattle, and I'm good enough with just taking the money line.
Fair enough.
All right. Moving on to one of the hottest topics in the NHL right now. What is going on with the Nashville Predators? Did you know this? I heard this morning. I have, in fact, checked this at all, so I could be very wrong. And if I am wrong, I'm not wrong. The person that I heard say this is wrong. But the Nashville Predators have started they're 0-5 to start the year. Did you know that no 0-5 team has ever made it to the playoffs?
No.
I heard that this morning. Yeah. Like I said, I haven't fact checked it myself, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I heard this morning that no 0-5 team has ever made it to the playoffs. So the season's over, basically. It's done. There's no hope. Nashville at home, minus 126 against the Boston Bruins, plus 105. Plus 1.5 for the Bruins is minus 240. Minus 1.5 for the Predators, plus 195. The over is 5.5 at minus 140. And the under is plus 112. What do you see here? Nashville, Boston in Nashville.
I see an incorrect line here. And, Nashville's overdue. They are at home. I think going into the season, we probably expect the Predators to be better than the Bruins, but that's not what we've gotten so far. And just to be blunt, the Bruins are really only struggling against the Panthers. The Predators are struggling against everybody. So that plus 105 is looking pretty juicy to me, and I'm rolling with it all the way.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with this game because I've watched quite a bit of the Bruins this year as well. I thought they've looked pretty good for the most part. Couple lapses in that game over the weekend that cost them the win. But overall, Boston's been the better team. Nashville, man, they're just giving up too many goals, man. Like they're just giving up. They're giving up between 4 and 5 goals per game, and they're not scoring. You'd think like eventually, and that might be part of what the odds makers are kind of thinking here is eventually they have to win a game. Like they got to win here at some point. I just don't know when. Did you take a total?
I did
I kind
not.
of blacked out there. Yeah, because I like that under 5.5 at plus 112 is really interesting to me. Like this feels like a 3-2 game, regardless of who wins. And that's just kind of how it feels. And I think I'm with you, man. Until we see it, I want to take Nashville. My first inclination is to take Nashville, but until we see it, man, you got to roll with Boston, right? Plus 105. I think that's kind of the move here. A couple props though that I do like from this game. Pasternak and Forsberg, each of them to score plus 125 for Pasternak, plus 135 for Forsberg. Stamkos finally got on the board the other day. He's plus 175 to score, and Marchessault is plus 240. So I have my eye on those. Are the 4 shortest odds for players to score a goal, and I do like all of them. I will be astounded if all 4 of them score tonight, but I do have my eye on those guys, and I think I'm leaning with Boston too. For Nashville, man, it's about a full, complete 60-minute game here. Like they have to find a way, not just to score goals, but they got to keep goals out of their net. They have to. They called up. I haven't seen. Do you have any goalie props there on DK?
Yeah, a lot of these guys are not listed yet. It's just the shutout stuff for now.
Okay. So listed right now is Swayman and Saros. If that happens, I think the under would be a risky bet, but I would take it. The interesting storyline to kind of look out for, and the name is escaping me, I apologize, but the Predators called up a rookie goaltender yesterday, and I'm interested to see what happens here. Saros has not looked good, and I think he'll be fine. He'll settle down, but he has not looked good to start the year. He is starting tonight. I'm not saying there's a goalie controversy. I'm just curious to see what happens with Saros over the next little bit. Like this team has to snap out of it. We talked about this yesterday. Like, you're not out of it 100%. But you're 10 points back of first place in the division. If you win 2 of your next 5 games, your season's probably done. Like you got to go on a run here soon. Like we said, man, maybe they have a few days off, go catch 50 Cent in Vegas and, do some team building and see what happens. All right, moving on. Another game, I'm really curious to see what you think about this one. Carolina in Edmonton. Lots of really good matchups here tonight. Carolina in Edmonton. The Hurricanes plus 110 on the road. Edmonton Oilers minus 132. Plus 1.5 for the Hurricanes is minus 230. Minus 1.5 for the Oilers, plus 188. The over is 6.5 at plus 100. The under is minus 122. What do you got, Hurricanes, Oilers?
Honestly, one of the trickier games for me. At their best, this could be a massive game. This could be probably the best game of the night if both teams are playing at their best. What we've seen from both of them, though, is probably not their best. I know the Oilers finally got a couple wins under their belt. I know the Canes responded from their opening loss with 2 wins before meeting the Blues on Saturday. But I don't know. Neither team feels right to me. Maybe that's just me. You can confirm or deny.
No, I'm right with you. I'm with you.
I'm not really buying what either team's giving me right now. I don't know if I want to pick a side here, I think I'm just going to trust the talent, trust somewhat struggling PKs here, and I'm going to just take the over.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm right there with you, man. I think the over 6.5 plus 100 is phenomenal odds. And I'm kind of shocked, to be honest with you. I think it's another one of those bets. I think you jump on it right now, like literally right now, bet on it, because I don't think it's going to be plus money by the time the puck drops at 9 p.m. And I know that there's lots of change in Carolina and blah blah blah, but the truth remains the same. Lots of good goal scorers on both sides, and one of the most untrustworthy things about both teams right now is the goaltending. So why wouldn't you take the over here? Plus 100. I am kind of surprised that it is plus money. So I'll take that over too. And I'm right there with you, man. I have no idea what to bet on either of these teams right now. Carolina, Edmonton, both teams, I'm not currently impressed. What I'm interested in is Zach Hyman I don't think he's found the back of the net yet. He's plus 150, the shortest odds to score tonight. Zach Hyman plus 150. Eventually, this guy has got to break through here. It has to happen at some point in time. Plus 150 for Zach Hyman to score. And Sebastian Aho has had a pretty good start to this season. He's plus 180 for him to score. So I like the over, and I like Hyman and Aho to each get one in the back of the net. All right, moving on to a game that I am actually very curious about, and it might be the one I can't say the most curious about, but it's up there for me. And with all of these really good games on at the same time, it's hard to believe that this might be the one that I have my eye on the most. The Ottawa Senators in Utah. Utah minus 126. That's now been bet down to minus 114. The Senators were plus 105 when I typed this in this morning. They're now minus 105. Plus 1.5 for Ottawa, minus 265, minus 1.5 for Utah, plus 215. The over is 6.5 at minus 104, and the under is minus 118. Daily Faceoff has Linus Allmark projected to start, not yet confirmed. What do you have, Ottawa, Utah?
Our odds are completely different. DK has Utah minus 112, Ottawa minus 108. And I'm very happy about that because Utah just keeps winning. And even when they lose, Sans one game in Jersey, I guess it's only one other game. They've only lost twice, but that was an OT loss. That was a game where they were up in the third period. That was a game where they were up 2-1 at the end of the first. Like they were, should have probably won that game, should have probably won it in regulation, gotten 2 points. They only got one. But this hockey club is always in a position to win, whereas Ottawa, 4 straight games, they've allowed at least 3 goals. The total tally from that's 18, 2 losses in there. If their offense doesn't show up, it seems like they're not going to win. Plain and simple. And while their offense could show up against Utah, based on what Utah has done, in then most of their games this year, I don't trust them enough to outscore Utah in Utah. So I'm going to take the hockey club. I have it minus 112, locking it in right now. Probably a higher scoring game. I would lean over as well. But the odds I'm getting for Utah, I love them. So
what I'm curious about here is if Allmark plays, then this changes things a little bit. But I think my favorite play on this game is the over. Like this feels like a 4-3 game, maybe empty netter at the end, 5-3. What I'm worried about when it comes to Utah, and I don't disagree with you, but the thing that concerns me about Utah, Marino and Dursey are both out with injuries for the foreseeable future. Those are 2 really good defensemen on that back end. And that's a little bit concerning to me because Ottawa, they can score goals. They can. And it shouldn't affect Utah's scoring too much. They should be able to still score goals. I know that both of those guys are good puck moving defensemen, but Utah should be able to still score goals. But when you have two of your better defensemen out of the lineup, that's a little bit concerning to me. So I think my favorite play on this game is the over 6 at -104. And I honestly, dude, I'm feeling Ottawa here, and that's why I'm not betting a side. I feel Ottawa. I don't like it. It's weird. It doesn't feel right. I think that you're accurate in your assessment. Something's telling me that Ottawa's going to win this game tonight, but I'll just stick with the over. And leave it at that because I do think that Ottawa can put up goals, and I think Utah can as well. The Linus Allmark piece is going to be interesting because if he starts tonight, he hasn't started in a while, so he could either be fresh or he could be rusty. It kind of goes one of both ways. What's the saying again? One of both ways. One of both ways.
One of two ways.
That's right. Not at all what I was even saying. All right, moving on to the Pittsburgh Penguins in Calgary. Interesting odds here, man. Both of them, even money, -110. Either way you slice it, any way you slice it. I'm butchering my sayings here. I don't know where my head's at right now. -1.5 for the Calgary Flames, +202, +1.5 for the Penguins is -250. The over is 6.5 at -115, and the under is -105. What do you got, man? Pittsburgh Penguins, Calgary Flames. What do you have here? I'm surprised Calgary is not plus money here, to be honest. With the way these two seasons have been going, I'm surprised. What do you got?
You're surprised Calgary is not plus money?
Or sorry, Pittsburgh's not plus money. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, lucky for you, or maybe unlucky, I don't know. DK has Pittsburgh at +102, Calgary -122. Because they know I'm going to take the Flames money line. Calgary has just been winning. Plain and simple. They only scored one goal last time out, still managed to squeak a point away. All their other games, they scored at least 3 goals. The total in those 4 wins was 19. Their last 3 games, they have not allowed more than 1 goal in 60 minutes. If you do that against Pittsburgh, you're going to win, because what have we said about Pittsburgh all year? They cannot stop anybody. 3 goals, that's the baseline. You expect them to give up at least 3 goals. Most teams have scored 4, 5, or 6. So I'm taking a Calgary win here because their offense is just going to have another nice day. And they've been stopping pucks well enough where it should be pretty comfortable. I'm not even afraid of that puck line, honestly. But the over also, because that's what Pittsburgh games just have been.
Yeah, man, I'm taking Calgary too all day long. I updated the odds. These odds have shifted, but Pittsburgh's still minus money, which, again, is surprising to me. I really like this Calgary team, bro. And who knows how long it lasts. I don't know, but they look really strong, dude. And Saturday, they lost to a Seattle team in overtime that's been playing really well. You know, there's no fault for that. They are 4-0-1 and have yet to lose in regulation. They're playing really well at home, road. It doesn't matter. This Calgary team looks really good right now. And Pittsburgh, that defense is just too big. It's too glaring, man, to ignore it. Like, you cannot bet the Pittsburgh Penguins right now. You just can't. Like, that defense is a disaster. Peterson is throwing pizzas down the middle of the ice, like left, right, and center. I just don't, Carlson, very high offensive upside. We all know that, but defensively, just not there. I don't see how this game doesn't go over, first of all, like you said. And I just don't see a world where Calgary loses this game. I honestly, dude, like I I'm a little bit hesitant, but I would debate that puck line. Like minus 1.5
Yep.
for the Flames. Would you be surprised? 5-3, 6-3, 6-4? I can see that all day long. And a plus 202. That's insanely good value, in my opinion, for Calgary. Plus 202, minus 1.5. The thing that I'm really interested in is the goaltending matchup tonight. Now, once again, Daily Faceoff has Tristan Jarry projected to start tonight, and I'm calling BS on that. Daily Faceoff, you do great work. No disrespect. I would be stunned if Jarry plays tonight. I would be stunned. Seems like a pretty dramatic word for this, but I would be shocked if Tristan Jarry plays tonight. He has a record of 1-1. He is .547 goals against average, .836 save percentage. I don't care that it's only 2 games. You can't start him if you have 2 other healthy goaltenders. You just can't do it. Dustin Wolf, he's projected to start tonight. He has had a terrific start to his season. 2-0-0, 202 goals against average, net .944 save percentage. I love Calgary tonight, man. Give me the minus 1.5 at plus 202, and I'll take that over as well. Moving on, 2 games left in the evening. San Jose Sharks plus 132 in Anaheim at minus 160. It's now plus 136 and minus 164. The plus 1.5 for the Sharks is minus 192. Minus 1.5 for the Ducks is plus 158. Over 5.5 at minus 130. Under is plus 106. I don't know. Do you know? What do you know? Tell me what you know about this game, because I have no idea.
I keep talking about this mythical 16-leg parlay, and then I remember the game existed. Do I want to tie my money to either of these teams? Absolutely not. What I will say, I will compliment the Ducks, quack, quack. They, all right. I guess they beat the Sharks 2-0 to start the year. They beat Utah 5-4 in OT. They're not a bottom 5 team in goals against per game.
No,
it's the best I got. That's the best I got. I guess I'm taking the Ducks. The Ducks are only allowing 3 goals per game, a flat 3 goals per game. I shouldn't say like it's a crazy number, but it's pretty good. It helps that their first game was a shutout win over the Sharks, and they haven't done anything since. I guess I'm taking the Ducks here. I guess I'm taking the Ducks. 60-minute line, sure. Goals for both teams are terrible. Bottom 5, as we expect. So I guess I'll take the under as well. But do we really want to commit to either of these teams?
No, you don't. My favorite bet in this game, honestly, and it's not really, it's kind of long shotty, but I would be way more looking at anything that Tyler Toffoli has to offer. I think that guy, despite them not winning yet, he's been like really good for them. He's putting up points almost every single night. Goal scorer, Tyler Toffoli. This is hilarious. Have you looked at the goal scoring props for this game tonight?
I have not, but I'm going to assume the highest one or the lowest one is probably like 3 something.
The longest odds are, or the shortest odds rather, are plus 200. So not quite 3, but yeah, Tyler Toffoli is plus 200 to score tonight. For him to put up 1 point is minus 122, which is actually pretty good value. Tyler Toffoli minus 122 to get 1 point. I think that's a really, really good bet. And I'm surprised that it's only minus 122. I guess they're just banking on the Sharks not scoring. 2 points is plus 420. 3+ shots for Tyler Toffoli is minus 130. I think there's really, really good value in anything to do with Tyler Toffoli. As a matter of fact, 3 shots on goal, 1 point, goal score. Little Tyler Toffoli 3-leg parlay plus 268. I might throw down on that. I don't know how I got sucked into this Tyler Toffoli wormhole, but nevertheless, I'm with you, man. I think that the Ducks win this game, but I'm not betting on any of these sides. I don't even like the over or the under. I don't really like any of it, but I am curious to watch this game though. Because like the Ducks, as inept as they are and as inept as they have been, they got a lot of really good young players, and I'm really curious to watch. And same with the Sharks, man. Celebrini still out, unfortunately, but like the Sharks have some good players on the team, so you still have some good competition in this game. It's just going to be a dogfight. I have no idea who's going to win this game, but give me everything and anything Tyler Toffoli, because he's been a really good bright spot for the San Jose Sharks so far this year. All right. Moving on to, I am terrified of this game. And if you know me at all, Andre, which I know you do you know why I'm terrified of this game? Vegas Golden Knights minus 137, LA Kings plus 114. Congratulations, by the way, to the LA Kings. The road trip from hell is officially over at 2:30 a.m. EST. You just got to get through this game, man, and you're back home. Back home. You're almost there. Congratulations. But back to my question. Do you know why I'm terrified of this game?
Because the Kings are involved, I'm assuming.
I mean, the answer is not no. Think aesthetic. You know how I love uniforms and jerseys. Think of aesthetics. Why am I terrified of this game?
Oh, yeah, this is going to be a lot of shiny lights on the ice tonight, huh?
I am terrified. Are we going to get the double shine? The double shiner?
I feel like we deserve a double shiner at some point, right?
I guess so. Just imagine watching this game. I don't care if you like these shiny helmets, okay? You like what you like. It's whatever it is. Whatever. But 2 shiny helmets, that's just super distracting, right? Nobody likes that.
I don't know. I mean, somebody out there's got to like it, right? Somebody
and it's gold and silver. It's not like this subtle, navy blue, metallic blue shine that the Canucks had. This is straight up gold and silver, like so distracting.
I mean, would you rather gold and silver, or would you rather the blue and green of like a Stars Canucks?
I mean, it feels a little more dull on the eyes. Like green and blue is not any nicer looking. It probably looks worse, to be honest, but it feels like a little less harsh. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I don't know. Lots of glare.
Gotta go all in.
Oh man, I'm terrified.
How do you think it feels in the stadium? I've never do you think the lights just shine off them and just blind the fans?
That's a great question. I was thinking the same thing. My first thought was super glare. They might as well just all be bald. They're just a bunch of glare off a bunch of bald skulls. I don't know, man. I'm not. Although I will say, all joking, actually not all joking aside, because I'm not joking. I really hope that they both aren't repping their shiny helmets. I hate it so much. But all humor aside, I suppose, this is a great matchup to wrap up the night. 11 p.m. EST get that coffee cooking, get a little late night meal. This has a bad decision written all over it for me. Like, this has a Mark Sauter getting Uber Eats at 12:15 written all over it. Las Vegas minus 137, LA Kings plus 114. That has now moved. The Golden Knights are now minus 128, and the Kings are plus 106. That's interesting. Minus 1.5 for the Golden Knights, plus 198, plus 1.5 for the Kings, minus 245. The over is 5.5 at minus 115, and the under is minus 105. Andre, what do you got, man?
Yeah, this is another game that's kind of tight to call. What I will say, though, that over 5.5 is looking pretty nice. Based on Vegas alone, I mean, opener gave up 4 goals. Next game, 3 goals. Next game was only 1, but it was against the Ducks. Next 3 games, they've given up 4, 4, and 4. The Kings, yeah, they've held their last 2 opponents to 1 goal. They only allowed 1 in their opener. Sandwich between them was allowing 8 to Ottawa and 6 to Toronto. 2 of them, probably the best and third best team they've faced so far. The Bruins game, they only allowed 2, so I guess it's a good performance. What I'm trying to say is don't really trust them enough where you're looking at a 3-2 final based on the fact alone that Vegas is allowing basically 4 goals per game. And that LA kind of got exposed by the two best offensive teams they faced. So I'm going to take the over 5.5. Picking a side is kind of tricky for me here. I never trust the Kings. Never have, never will. But Vegas is not playing particularly well right now. So over 5.5 for me. That's going to wrap up my night.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And for all those same reasons, I have no problem taking Vegas on the money line here. I think you can talk me into a puck line play as well. To be honest, I think you could talk me into it. We got a lot of time. There's like 12 hours before this game starts. So you got lots of time to talk me into it. But I like Vegas on the money line here, man. I do think Vegas kind of lost their way a little bit in the last couple games. I see them coming out tonight and having a big performance. And the LA Kings, I mean, you said it, bro. I just don't trust it. The one thing that I'm curious to see, and I don't like throwing around these numbers only 5 games into the year, just because it's still early and a lot of these metrics are inflated. But 29.4% power play for Vegas, 78.6% penalty kill for the Kings. I watched the Kings play the Leafs last week. The Leafs were like 0 for 1,000 on power plays. And they were like 0 for 1,000 on their power plays. And they got their first 2 power play goals of the season against the LA Kings. Defensively, they've been a mess. Penalty kills been a bit of a mess. I like Vegas here. On the money line, you have some time to convince me into the puck line, and I like the over as well.
Beautiful.
All right, man, let's wrap it up. Best bets brought to you by the one, the only First Round Collectibles. Right now with our promo code Sports Addict, get 10% off whatever card you want in the entire First Round Collectibles store. They have an ongoing sale up to 50% off dozens and dozens of cards with our promo code Sports Addict. Not only do you get 10% off of regular price items, but sales items as well. Go to firstroundcollectibles.com today, the number 1. STRoundCollectibles.com. First Round Collectibles, sports cards for sports fans. And Andre, don't forget, we went through 9 games, but there are 7 other games that we talked about yesterday. So there's lots and lots and lots to talk through when it comes to our best bets. Once again, just a reminder, Washington in Philly, Minnesota in Florida, Tampa Bay in New Jersey, Dallas in Buffalo, New York in Montreal, Toronto in Columbus, Detroit in New York, on the island, Winnipeg in St. Louis, Vancouver in Chicago, Colorado in Seattle, Boston in Nashville, Carolina in Edmonton, Ottawa in Utah, Pittsburgh in Calgary, San Jose in Anaheim, and LA in Vegas. Andre, best bet. What do you got?
Yeah, make sure you check out yesterday's video if you want to see
Yes.
the preview for those pre-8 o'clock games. I'm not going to lie, Mark, because I went through all the games last night before I went to bed, just price them out, thinking about picks, whatever. The one that stood out to me is the best bet. I'm not going to take it because I've already done this. I've already pulled this trick. It's October. I can't, dip into the well too early. It's bad taste, but that Rangers puck line's looking real good. The odds dropped from plus 120 something to plus 110 today.
Ooh.
People tend to agree with me. I really do like that Rangers puck line. However, I'm going to stay away from that as my best bet, just because it's kind of tacky. It's kind of in bad taste. I'm going to pick on the Predators. They haven't won yet, right? The Bruins, they've beaten everybody except the Panthers in Utah, but even that Utah game wasn't OT. I'm taking the Bruins plus 110.
Wow. Sorry, I don't know what's happening here. I pressed something. All right. Wow. I mean, I like it as a best bet. I'm feeling risky on a Tuesday. I love it. I am having a really, really hard time because, like you just said with the Rangers pick, I picked the Leafs minus 1.5 last week. Against the Kings. That was actually my best bet last week, if I remember correctly, on Wednesday. And I am I'm a little bit I really like them minus 1.5 again tonight. And I don't want to do it same thing as you, man. To pick my favorite team minus 1.5 2 straight weeks. It's a little bit risky. And the odds, quite frankly, aren't that great. It's plus 104. For that reason, I will pivot here. And I do yeah, I am going to go the 9:30 time slot. I am going to go Calgary Flames minus 115. I am going Calgary Flames minus 115. I just think Pittsburgh, the fight, the tenacity that the Flames play with, the goaltending dilemma that they've had, and they've actually had pretty good goaltending themselves. The goaltending in Pittsburgh is a mess. I really like that minus 115. The over could just as easily be my best bet, but I feel like this one's a little bit less volatile. So I'll take Calgary minus 115, man.
I like it. I was right there. That was another bet I was high on. I don't know. For this family play.
Yep.
I'm thinking, right, circling back to yesterday, I feel like we were both pretty high on the over in Wild Panthers. I feel like it was 6 yesterday. No? It was 6 minus 140, and you were like, just make it 6.5.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, that's right. It's 5.5 at minus 130 on FanDuel.
Okay, because I have 25 now. It's like 5.5. Those two teams, we both liked it. I was thinking that one. I don't know if you have something else in mind.
I like that one. I kind of. All right. So Wild Panthers over 5.5 for me, over 6 for you. It's 6, right? For you?
No, I have 5.5.
You have a 5.5?
Yeah.
Or the over 6.5 in Ottawa, Utah. Minus 104.
You have 104. I think I have 108.
What do you like better? Florida, Wild, Utah, Ottawa, overs. We'll go with your gut. What are you feeling?
Let's pick something from yesterday. You got to get yesterday involved. I'm picking.
All right. All right. Agreed.
A little balance.
All right. Minnesota Wild and Florida Panthers over 5.5. It's minus 130 on FanDuel.
Cool. I have minus 125. Based on the odds, my parlay is plus 587. What's yours? Curious.
594.
Yeah. Okay.
Not too different.
I thought they'd be somewhat similar.
Yeah.
Little minor differences here and there. But not too
All
bad.
good.
Bruins money line, Flames money line, over 5.5 and Wild Panthers. It's a 3-leg parlay for the day.
Absolutely love it. Plus 594. What'd you say? Plus 586?
587, yeah.
All right, right around the same. A little bit of breaking news-ish to get into, just to kind of throw your way before we get out of here. Jake Neighbors has signed a 2-year contract extension, $3.75 million per year with St. Louis. Really, really good young player. Had a great year last year. Really like that extension for St. Louis. I think they're building something good, man. They have a lot of really good young players and who knows what that means for this year, but they got quite a few good young players who are locked up for quite a while, quite a long time. So I like that move a lot. And this is just more a Toronto side of things. I am shocked by this, but Toronto's Oliver Ekman-Larsson been fined $5,000 for his interference, like side check thing on Tampa Bay yesterday. I think it was Jake Ensel he hit. I don't know. I think that's soft and ridiculous, but hey. And I also find it hilarious that for situations like that, the maximum fine allowed in the CBA is $5,000. Like, I don't know. I know that these guys don't make as much as every other sport, but $5,000 seems like, what's the point of that? at that point, I don't know. Seems a little bit weird, but anyway, I digress. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. Don't forget, as Andre said a few minutes ago, do not forget, if you missed part 1 of this preview, head over to Total Apex Sports Twitter. You'll find it on mine as well. That's at Total Apex Sports, and you'll find it on mine as well. And watch part 1. We went through 7 of tonight's games yesterday, and we went through obviously the rest of them today. All right, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, first round collectibles, promo code Sports Addict, 10% off. We'll be back tomorrow, man. Lots to get into from tonight. We'll see what happens. Enjoy Frozen Frenzy. Enjoy all the games. Good luck on your bets. And we will see you tomorrow.